If you've ever felt that life is passing by too quickly and that you could be so much further ahead than you are now, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. The truth is cruel. Most people only wake up when they've already wasted half their lives trying to understand what really matters. But you don't have to wait that long. Time isn't infinite, and continuing to put things off is the most expensive choice you can make. While you think life continues to happen, without you as the protagonist, if there's a voice inside you saying you were born for something greater, pay attention now. In a few minutes, you'll discover principles that could have changed your story long ago, but that can still transform your present and what comes next. It's not luck, it's not talent, it's awareness, it's choice, and you're about to make one now. Time passes too quickly, and most people only realize this too late, as if life were always going to give us another chance tomorrow. We live as if we have an infinite supply of days, postponing dreams and affections while waiting for the right moment, which almost never comes. Small things in everyday life, a shared coffee, an intimate conversation, a sincere hug, can become great memories that give meaning to life. But the truth is, we rarely realize when we do something for the last time. That's why presence is everything, living life with open eyes, as a protagonist, not a spectator. Life favors those who get involved in the game, not those who stay on the sidelines waiting for courage. Every second, the clock ticks forward without asking for your opinion. Time doesn't stop for you to decide to live. While we're thinking about starting, life has already begun. And it waits for no one. Human memory is selective. It doesn't register repetitive days, only those that evoke emotion and mark life in some way. That's why people feel the years are passing faster. It's not time, it's the lack of novelty. Trips, different experiences, deep conversations. All of this becomes vivid memory and prolongs life in perception. Identical days, on the other hand, dissolve as if they never existed. Creating diversity in daily life gives it texture, color, and meaning. New people, new places, new learnings bring new stories, and life becomes fuller inside, not just longer on the outside. To remember is to relive, and those who collect good memories end up living twice, appreciating a life worth remembering. Nothing ages faster than a soulless routine. If time waits for no one, then life shouldn't depend on miracles to happen either. You don't need to travel the world to feel life pulsating again. Starting small changes everything. A new hobby, a new path to work, a course that sparks curiosity. Each different choice rekindles the pleasure of being alive. Walking outdoors clears the mind and shows that life exists beyond worries. A book like The Power of Now can be an invitation to real presence, without distractions. Each conscious decision is a piece of history that you build with intention. Life doesn't allow editing or drafting. It's written directly with a pen. It's not enough to fill appointments on the calendar. You need to fill your existence with meaning. And when a person understands this, they begin to perceive the silent enemy that steals the most life without seeming to. The comfort that sabotages growth. Comfort is seductive. It makes life seem peaceful, safe, predictable. But there's a high price for this apparent security because nothing grows in the comfort zone. The brain prefers to conserve energy and repeat automatic behaviors, so it tries to convince you that it's okay to leave life as it is. But this okay becomes an invisible prison where the days look too much alike and opportunities simply pass you by. Life was made to evolve, not to stagnate. When a person becomes complacent, time keeps running while they remain still. And the problem is that stagnation doesn't give warning. When we realize it, we've already lost valuable years. Comfort makes empty promises and silently steals life's potential. Growing always requires a step outside the comfort zone. Always. The more comfortable life becomes, the less motivation there is to change. The mind learns that any discomfort is danger, when in fact discomfort is often a sign of progress. Doing something difficult activates new connections in the brain, as if you were expanding the territory of your own life. A person who avoids challenges shrinks mentally, emotionally, and even socially. Life begins to fit within walls that are too small. Being too comfortable becomes synonymous with being less than you could be. Therefore, it is essential to recognize the trap of routine that numbs life, and to become aware that a comfortable little world doesn't take anyone far. Life demands movement, it demands courage, and it will test who really wants to grow. Training yourself to handle discomfort is a powerful strategy for unlocking your potential in life. It can start with simple habits, such as waking up a little earlier to exercise, reading something daily that expands your perspective on life, or exposing yourself to conversations and situations that give you butterflies in your stomach. A practical tip is to adopt small increasing goals. If you walked for 10 minutes today, 12 tomorrow. If you read 5 pages today, 6 tomorrow. Small acts create big transformations because they teach the brain that life doesn't end when something is challenging. On the contrary, life begins there. Discomfort shapes mental strength, and the more you train, the more resilient you become. And when a person sees this, they understand that there is something much more powerful than motivation, the focus that builds a life with purpose. Motivation is like that friend who only shows up when they want to. Sometimes they're there, other times they disappear without explanation. It depends on mood, the weather, what happened in life that day, and that makes it completely unstable. That's why so many people start something with enthusiasm and then give up halfway through. Focus, on the other hand, doesn't need to be enthusiastic to work. Focus is emotional discipline. It's commitment to what really matters in life. When a person understands that they can't depend on motivation, they start building sustainable results. Life changes when we stop waiting for desire and start acting even without it. Because doing what needs to be done is what builds the future. The rest is just intention lost in time. With focus, the impossible begins to seem possible because the person sees real progress happening. Life is strengthened by clear goals that show where you are going and why. Without direction, motivation quickly runs out, like fuel leaking along the way. But when there is focus, each step fuels the next. The brain loves progress and rewards small advances with dopamine, the hormone of true motivation, the kind that comes from action, not fleeting emotion. Therefore, having focus is training the brain to enjoy doing what brings you closer to the life you want. Motivation may give an initial push, but it is focus that sustains the journey and transforms effort into achievement. An effective strategy for developing focus is to create micro-action systems, steps so small that the mind cannot create excuses to avoid them. Reading 5 pages a day, investing a few RIAs a month, training for 10 minutes daily, all of this, with consistency, transforms life in the long run. The secret lies in valuing minimal progress, because it becomes maximum progress when life adds up to days and years. The more you train your focus, the more it grows, like a muscle. And over time, you realize you don't even need motivation. Taking action becomes a natural part of life. And it is at this point that a new challenge arises, to stop comparing yourself to others and realize that the only fair comparison is with who you were yesterday. Comparing your own life to others is like looking into a distorted mirror. Nothing there reflects the complete truth. Each person only shows their best side while hiding the behind-the-scenes aspects that truly shape life. When someone compares their journey to another's stage, they lose sight of their own progress. Comparison generates anxiety, envy, and a constant feeling of inadequacy. Life becomes measured by the achievements of others, not by what truly matters. The result? A fragile happiness that depends on the failure of others to exist. This is a cruel game where no one truly wins. Joy dissolves when a person forgets they have their own story. And when that happens, life loses its shine. Social media exacerbates this problem because it turns other people's lives into a 24/7 showcase. But people tend to post what went right, not what went wrong. Real life has crises, setbacks, silences, and unglamorous days, and all of that is hidden behind filters. Those who forget this think they're falling behind in life, but in reality, they're comparing reality to fantasy. The brain interprets this as a standard and creates a morbid sense of urgency. What was meant to inspire begins to consume the joy of living, and little by little, the focus shifts from one's own path to the path of others. Life becomes too heavy when we try to carry the weight of other people's expectations. The only healthy comparison is the one we make with who we were yesterday. That's the metric that truly transforms life. Instead of looking to the sides, a person should look inward and ask, how can I be 1% better today? Reading a new chapter of a book, improving a skill, saving a little more to improve the future. Small victories build big changes. When life becomes a competition with oneself, progress becomes natural and joy is reborn. No one needs to be the best in the world. It's enough to be the best in one's own story. Each person already has a unique life to live, with battles and achievements that only make sense within their own path. And when this perception is established, it becomes easier to understand that willpower alone never wins. What wins are the systems that sustain real life. Willpower is like a battery. It discharges quickly and depends heavily on a person's emotional state. Systems, on the other hand, are like electrical outlets connected directly to power. They keep life running even when spirits are low. That's why those who rely solely on willpower usually start well but can't sustain results. Life needs structure, not improvisation. When actions are automated, the brain saves energy and the chance of giving up decreases significantly. Creating systems is a smart way to ensure that what's important in life happens every day. It's like preparing the soil before planting. Without it, nothing truly grows. Life is better organized with habits that function on autopilot. Willpower fails. Systems sustain it. Mental economy is a decisive factor in this process. The brain always seeks the easiest path, the one that requires the least effort, because its priority is survival, not an extraordinary life. So, if the environment is full of temptations and distractions, it will naturally opt for the most comfortable option, even if it's bad for life in the long run. Organizing your environment to your advantage already changes the game. Leaving a book on the table to remind you to read, preparing your workout clothes before bed, keeping healthy foods more visible than ultra-processed ones. The environment pushes life in the right direction when it's well designed. Small external changes generate great internal transformations. Automating progress prevents sharp declines and fuels growth. For example, automatically investing every month, even a small amount, creates a solid financial life without requiring conscious effort. Always training at the same time transforms exercise into a life routine, not an obligation. Studying a little every day unlocks knowledge and opportunities over the years. Systems free up mental and emotional energy for what truly matters. When life starts running on well-defined tracks, goals cease to be a distant desire and become a natural consequence of the journey. And at that point, a person discovers something profound. The pain of effort is worth far more than the pain of regret, and it is pain that teaches what comfort never could. Pain plays an essential role in life, even if no one likes to feel it. It's a warning, a harsh teacher that shows us where we are weak and where we need to grow. There is no evolution without friction, without discomfort, without challenges that push life forward. Neuroscience shows that the brain strengthens when we overcome adversity, creating new connections and increasing resilience. Each difficulty faced expands the capacity to deal with future situations. Pain shapes character, discipline, and emotional strength. And that's why the greatest advances in life usually arise from difficult moments. To run away from pain is to run away from one's own evolution. Life is not meant to be easy, it is meant to be meaningful. True maturity only arrives when a person faces setbacks, loses important things, and needs to rebuild themselves. It is in these moments that they discover what truly matters in life. A relationship that ends, a job that ends, a dream that fails. All of this can hurt deeply, but it can also open doors that comfort would never show. Pain reorganizes priorities and clarifies paths. Those who overcome challenges learn to trust themselves more, to understand that life can be hard, but that it is possible to win. Pain doesn't come to destroy, but to transform. It is the price of evolution. Life becomes richer when suffering transforms into wisdom. Setbacks are like intense chapters that leave scars, but they also reveal hidden strength. It is in pain that the courage to change habits, cut off toxic relationships, take new risks, and seek a more authentic life is born. Pain awakens the need for change, and shows that something greater awaits us on the other side of difficulty. If a person looks back, they will realize that the most difficult moments were the ones that made them grow the most in life. Learning from pain is embracing one's own history and using it as fuel to move forward. And when this understanding arrives, something powerful happens. The person is ready to use all of this, all these principles, not only to live, but to build a life worth remembering every day. Now that you know what most people only discover too late, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to keep this knowledge to yourself and let life continue as usual? Or are you going to take the first step to build the life you truly want to live? You deserve more than surviving on autopilot. You deserve to look back and feel proud of the path you chose. If any part of this video resonated with you, it's because the change has already begun within you. And denying that would be wasting a chance that many people don't have. So tell me, what's the next chapter in your story? Will you continue repeating the same days, or will you create a life worth remembering? If you want to continue evolving with me and transform this knowledge into practice, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, each video is a real step towards the life you've always dreamed of building. The journey is just beginning, and you're already a part of it.